Treyode. I'm here from UAW, so like I'm here just to represent like solidarity with CNA. CNA is doing a contract, they're bargaining a contract right now. I'm here as solidarity from UAW just to support them.
Are you concerned about the cutbacks, NIH cutbacks?
Oh yeah, like I do NIH, I'm a postdoc here in UCSF, and my entire research is funded by NIH. So like cutbacks to NIH means I'm fired, like my lab is fired, and we work on life-saving research. Like I work on tuberculosis and breast cancer. That means that research is gone after NIH cutbacks.
Heidi, the truth is I believe that the sign was designed for thinking about medical research and all the medical research that higher education contributes to public health in this country and the world. But actually I'm in science education, and research in science education saves lives too, because we need more people to understand science in the world, and we need more voices involved in science from a diverse population. So that's why I believe higher education research saves lives.
And how has these cutbacks in NIH affected UC and Davis and science?
Well, I'm not an NIH person, and so I'm not as knowledgeable about those grants, but I have received NSF grants, National Science Foundation grants, and those cuts are devastating for primarily underserved populations that are being removed from the equation of education and science and all the areas of the National Science Foundation. So that's kind of where I see those cuts having a big hit.
And Project 2025 is for the privatization of all public education, public services, public health. Are you worried about what that will mean for the future of UC?
Sure. I mean, that's kind of what the people behind you are chanting about, is that the more that money and profit drive the research agenda instead of the needs of the public, the more that you're going to have an elite benefit from that research instead of the broader public.
And there are 170 billionaires in California. Why aren't they paying for?
Yeah, that part, it just boggles the mind, for sure.
A lot of money in California.
Yeah.
Techno billionaires.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not one of them.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, that's good.
We merged. We didn't have a choice. We became UC employees.
So your contract is not as good as the one you had?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. No, but we are united now with all UC nurses, with 25,000 statewide, and we are going to make this contract one of the best contracts there are. There is a plan where you do not have to contribute monthly, but point of care is still billed for, and it can be very significant.
Yes.
So can pharmaceuticals. So nothing is free.
We're going to get started here. I'm going to bring up Rosita, Mission Bay Chief Nurse Rep. My name is Matthew Torres. I'm a labor rep over here. Let's see. Everyone's looking good. Folks want to come in a little bit closer? Rad. Okay. Cool.
Well, I'm standing at the very end of it.
Okay. Cool. How are we feeling? Good. All right. It's all yours, Rosa.
Hey, thanks for being out here. So my name is Rosita. I'm a UCSF nurse at Mission Bay. I've been a nurse here for 13 years. And so, yay! So we, the nurses of CNA, have started the bargaining process. October 13th is the end of our contract officially.
31.
Yes, October 31st. UC is not just proposing takeaways to our roles as nurses, but also working conditions. And in coordination with the current administration, they're using this moment to attack every core of our roles. Collective bargaining is how we win safe staffing and fair pay, but it is also how we protect care of every patient. Trans patients who deserve affirming care, undocumented families who deserve to be treated with dignity, communities of color who deserve justice, and frontline staff, no matter their immigration status, who deserve protection and respect. So I'm proud to be in solidarity with every worker who is now in the fight. So when we fight, we win! When we fight, we win! I'm going to start by introducing from UPTE, Karina Gonzalez, who's an animal health technician for UCSF.
Hello everyone, I'm Karina. Nice to see all of you here, standing together in solidarity. Okay, sorry. Okay, here we go. Like this? Okay. I'm new at this. So I'm an animal health technician, and I work for a neuroscience lab here on campus where we study neurodegenerative diseases. And I'm part of a drug discovery team where we work with novel compounds to develop, hopefully, novel therapies to delay the severe onset of diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and dementia. But I'm an animal health care technician, and I have 25 years of veterinary medical experience, 15 of those years being, focused on research, and they have been some of the best 15 years of my life. And coming here to UCSF was an incredible gift because my mom has a neurodegenerative disease, and it's a gift that came with a price. When I first got the offer, I was offered far below what I asked for, and then we negotiated, and it still came below what poverty level is for, the San Francisco area or the Bay. And, I tried commuting, and it was too difficult, but this mission is too important, too near and dear to my heart. And so, after looking into alternative living, staying at hostels, and, meeting some pretty scary situations, I decided that my car would be a nice, safe place to stay. So I figured out a way to shower and brush my teeth at night, but still contribute to world-class research. And I'm not the only one. As crazy as this may seem, I am not the only one. There's so many people here that are struggling and scraping just to get by while contributing to this world-class research. And we ask for fair wages. No more, no less, just what's fair. And UC is fighting us. And that is a shame. I'm standing here also with you. I don't know your stories, but the stories that I've learned from other animal care techs and other technical staff that I've met on the picket lines, I am here for them too because their stories have touched my heart. They strike for their families that they care for, that work for the UC system, that get healthcare through the UC, that work in the hospital, that cannot afford to care for their partners when they have a terminal illness. When I met an animal care technician that has severe Crohn's disease and he can't afford his biologics. He's on the third of 5 known to man to work. And he had to go on the third simply because UC, up to the price of they lowered the standards and we had to pay more in premiums, and he couldn't afford it for 3 weeks. 3 weeks is all it took. So now he's in his late 20s and this is all he has left. 2 options, and we're hoping that research pushes forward, which is why he does what he does, because he's hoping that his work helps the future. Because what people don't understand is preclinical research is the basis that everything else stands on. You have to have healthy animals to have great science. If you skew that, if you have unhealthy animals, you have unreliable data, unreliable research, and then that affects medications coming onto market and everything else. We may be at the bottom of the totem pole, but we are the legs the research stands on, and we have our place as well. And I'm here also because I'm tired of just being a number on my badge that you see just, oh, it's just another person. Because on the picket line, they see my face, they see me. I'm a person of value, of worth, just like each and every single one of you, and we deserve what is fair. So thank you very much. I hope to see you guys on the picket line.
Who has the power?
We got the power!
What kind of power?
Union power!
Who's got the power?
We got the power!
What kind of power?
Union power!
That's right. Thank you, Karina, for giving us that very actual, real impact on human lives and actually animals as well, I guess. Yeah. Our next speaker is from UAW. Atreya Day, who's recording secretary of the postdoc unit for the UAW 4811.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. My name is Atreya. I'm a postdoctoral researcher here at UCSF, and I'm the recording secretary of our unit in 4811, the union of 48,000 academic researchers across the UC. I am so proud to be standing here today with our union siblings from CNA, UPTE, and AAUP. I remember in the last Regents meeting in UCSF, I was listening to all the demands that all the unions were making, and it struck me how similar all our demands were. Things like better salaries, better working conditions, secure employment. It was even more striking how nonchalant and dismissive UC was to every single demand. Well, you know what happened because UC dismissed those demands? By dismissing those demands of every single union, they have united us. And today, CNA is standing here demanding a fair contract, and tomorrow it will be UPTE, then AAUP, then UAW. And every time UC tries to dismiss us, we will realize how similar our fights are, and we will come back even stronger. And our fights are truly the same. The federal administration is siphoning money from healthcare and adding it to $175 billion to ICE. While healthcare workers are getting laid off, an ICE agent can make $50,000 destroying our communities. In our union, there have been 200 academic worker layoffs since March due to these federal funding cuts, and this is just here in UCSF. That is why right now, UAW 4811 is petitioning the UC to prevent immigration agents from accessing our buildings without a judicial warrant. It's crazy that they don't already do that. That is why we're also working with Senator Scott Winner to introduce a $23 billion bond measure to create California's own NIH. And none of these will be possible without all of us standing together. So UAW is proud to stand here with CNA through your contract campaign. And we hope in the future CNA will do the same. Because who's got the power?
We got the power!
What kind of power?
Union power!
Thank you. We need UC to back us when we defend gender-affirming care. We need them to defend undocumented patients and staff from fear and discrimination. We need them to protect our right to organize and to stand up against privatization and union busting. We need them to defend our right of academic freedoms, public education, and our ability to say there's a genocide in Palestine. The next person I'm going to bring up is UPTE from Dan Russell, UPTE 9119, President.
Awesome, thanks so much. I didn't realize I was going to be going so quickly. So let's just, remind everybody where we are at as the unions assembled here today. So how long has CNA been bargaining?
3 sessions.
3 months? 2 months. How long has UAW been bargaining? I think it's a couple of months this time, right? How about UPTE? 15 months. AFSCME, I think, has been at the table for 21 months, if I remember correctly. How long have we been dealing with the short staffing crisis at UC? Years, right? I can only imagine how long the last 5 years since the pandemic have been for healthcare workers and other workers on the front line at UC. How many of the regents have been on the front lines for the last 5 years? How many of the CEOs of the hospitals have been on the front lines for the last 5 years?
0!
So what does it say about UC's priorities that they drag bargaining out for 2 years every time that we negotiate and provoke strikes every time we negotiate before they agree to a fair contract? They care more about their own paychecks, their investments, building new buildings, buying new hospitals than they do about taking care of the workers that actually do the work. Now, I don't think it's necessarily a great idea for UC to be negotiating with the Trump administration because, has anybody here dealt with a bully before? What happens if you give a bully your lunch money one day? Is it going to be over? They're going to expect something the next day. They might come back expecting more, right? How did that work out for Columbia? Was anybody following what happened to Columbia? So my real question for our new president, Milliken, and the Regents is, why are they going it alone? Why are they continuing to treat workers like a liability rather than real partners? Why are they continuing to fight us all at the bargaining table rather than working together to figure out how we can most effectively fight Trump? Because I think that is what our students and our patients and the millions and billions of people who depend on the research we do would want to see happening. So I am here, and I think we are all here today to say that we are going to keep up the fight for our patients, for our research, and for our students, with or without President Milliken, with or without the Regents, and we hope that it will not continue to be against them. So I think the question that we are posing to them today is, which side are they on? So we hope that they will decide to work with us to present a united front to the Trump administration as we continue to defend public health care, public research, and public education. Am I right? Yeah! Who runs UC?
We run UC.
There's so much silence within the union leadership regarding Palestine. We are being
And our message is clear.
Of anti-Semitism.
Nurses, doctors, residents, staff will not back down. We will not be silent, and together we will push back against cuts against the agenda that attacks our vulnerable communities. We will demand justice, and we will protect care for all. I want to also remind people that right now in this bargaining session that Regents are in, they are now contemplating giving the UCPD millions more in military arsenals, including bomb robots. Why do we need bomb robots on campuses against our patients, against our staff, against our students and faculty? So while they're cutting our care and our ability to provide care for our patients, they're plumping up their arsenals, military arsenals, for the UCPD to attack. There's something very wrong about the priorities of a UC system or any system that prioritizes militarization and aggressive attacks. So who has the power?
We have the power. Fight. We ready. Fight. We ready.
Fourth day on the filing of a wall-to-wall lawsuit brought by U.S. labor unions against the Trump administration. We have sued the Trump administration to end their unlawful and unconstitutional authoritarian attacks on our members, on our system of higher education, and on our state. The University of California is the historic heart of the free speech movement. University of California's students, staff, and faculty fought and even died for the civil rights laws and protections that we have today. In a nefarious twist that comes straight from the playbook of authoritarianism, those civil rights laws are now being used to dismantle the system that we know and love. Specifically, Title VI and spurious allegations of anti-Semitism are being used as a smokescreen to bend students, faculty, and staff in the UC system to the Trump administration's ideological preferences. Against the coercive threat of over $1 billion in penalties and more in funding, the Trump administration is demanding that the UC allow ICE onto our campuses and in our hospitals, end the use of considerations like class and neighborhoods in student admissions, ban gender-affirming care for minors, and give unfettered government access to student, faculty, and staff data. They want the UC system to disallow overnight demonstrations and restrict protests to infringe on the First Amendment rights of faculty, students, and staff. This is not about anti-Semitism. But this lawsuit is also not just about speech and association. It is also about protecting the health of everyday Californians who get their health care in the UC system. It is about economic mobility for California families who rely on the UC educational system for uplift. It is about protecting critical debate, knowledge, and innovation.
Donald Trump is attacking not just the UC system, not just our student, staff, and faculty members. He is attacking California. This tremendous coalition and this lawsuit are just the beginning. You will now hear from members and leaders of other UC unions who will describe what Trump's coercive threats are doing to their members and why we are all standing here today. The first speaker is Maggie Ming, a nurse representative at UCSS Parnassus from the California Nurses Association.
Hi everyone, my name is Maggie Ming. I am a nurse in California Nurses Association. I have been a nurse at UCSF for 5 years and I've been a nurse altogether for 8. I work in the ICU float pool and I'm so proud to work for UCSF. I'm from Ohio. Working in an academic institution is really, really important to me, and working with people of all genders, all races is also really important to me, and San Francisco is such a diverse microcosm in our nation. I am here on behalf of 25,000 registered nurses across the UC medical centers who are members of California Nurses Association. We are here to say that CNA nurses are opposed to any attempts by the federal government to tell us how and when we can provide care to our patients. We are also opposed to any attempts to make our hospitals unsafe for our patients, their families, and our nurses. That's why we're proud to join with all the other UC worker unions today to sue the Trump administration and stop the Trump administration from attacking the nurse values we stand for. I think we all know that Trump has been supporting ICE in our nation, and he wants to make it so it's easier for ICE to come into our hospitals. I did not become a nurse to be the middleman between ICE and patients. I came to take care of everyone, no matter creed, religion, or race, and I think all of our nurses do that. We do not support increased ICE activity in our hospital, and we just want to make sure that our patients feel safe and comfortable coming to the hospital every single day. Additionally, gender-affirming care is on the line if Trump follows through. San Francisco has such a large history of LGBTQ members. I think it's very, very easy to say that we're very, very accepting of everyone, and I love that. And I think that nurses are there to take care of people who are seeking gender-affirming care. Gender-affirming care is health care, and we all deserve health care. And lastly, we're in bargaining right now. UC is already having us in a staffing freeze. We are already noticing the strain in our hospital. If we get fined the millions or billions or however much Trump wants to fine us, the fact that we might have less research, less cutting-edge medical care for our patients, the fact that we might not be able to hire the staff that is needed on the front lines is really terrifying to me and our union, and we need to come together to say no to Trump's authoritarian regime. Thank you very much.
Katie Rogers, the president of UC-AFT.
Good afternoon. Thanks. My name is Katie Roger, and I am the president of UC-AFT, representing 7,000 librarians and contingent teaching faculty across all UC campuses. Since early spring, more than 200 members of my union have been laid off or had their workloads cut, merely in anticipation of the cuts that may come as a result of the government's extortion of the university. It is on behalf of those colleagues and for those who wait to learn what might still come that I'm here today. Along with other UC workers, this lawsuit represents UC-AFT members who are in the classrooms and libraries on every UC campus, working every day in service to the UC's mission to remain the top public higher ed institution of learning. We directly serve the nearly 250,000 students in the University of California. I'm proud to represent my colleagues as I stand here with representatives from the unions and organizations representing all sectors of the UC workforce. What's happening right here, right now, is an attack on higher ed as a public good in our country. What's at stake is not just about UCLA or even the UC. The government's demands are not about research or teaching, and they're definitely not fighting anti-Semitism. In fact, as we all know well, this government is not at all interested in stopping hate, but in sowing it among us all. The extortion of the university is part of Trump's agenda in his ongoing culture war. Limiting student scholarship opportunities, denying gender-affirming health care, and prohibiting campus protests are overt moves to silence and exclude citizens who are part of this public university. These attacks limit educational opportunities for the broader public and in turn further centralize power among the few. When the Trump administration came for UCLA and the University of California, it meant not just to limit the scope of research we do and the subjects we teach, but to fracture the communities that define our campuses and our workplaces. The Trump plan for higher education is a plan that tears down rather than builds. Dismantling the programs and infrastructure that support our students and us as workers is meant to alienate and divide us all. Make no mistake that part of this government's master plan is to destroy our university, much as it's working to destroy our country as we have known it. It's doing this by turning people against people. When we're reduced to scrambling for resources among ourselves, we don't stay focused on the source of our problems, which is why now that more than ever, UC workers are standing together. This lawsuit represents not only our rejection of the attacks we're facing, but an affirmation of our solidarity. Solidarity is the foundation of worker power, and we're here today to flex it together. We refuse to be divided. We can and will continue to fight back together and stand united in the face of what will come. UC-AFT stands with the student workers, the healthcare workers, the service and technical workers, the staff, and the faculty who together make us the University of California. Thank you.
Next we have Ayush Midha, who is a graduate student researcher at UCSF and a member of UAW 4811. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ayush Midha. I am an MD PhD student here at UCSF, and I'm a proud member of UAW 4811, the Union of Academic Workers across the University of California. I'm also the direct beneficiary of an NIH fellowship, and I've worked in a lab here for the last 4 years researching cardiovascular disease and metabolism. I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to contribute to the life-saving research that happens at UCSF. And the work across the University of California, funded largely by public institutions, has advanced treatments for countless conditions like cardiovascular disease, cancer, HIV, and Alzheimer's disease. Today, all of that is under attack because the Trump administration has cut off all federal funding for biomedical research at UCLA. That means no more funding for research on cancer, research on infectious diseases, research on reproductive health. The consequences of all of this will be catastrophic. Dozens of students who aspire to be scientists will lose the ability to keep doing their training. The work of graduate student researchers and postdoctoral scholars will be interrupted. That work includes fighting against many conditions that affect our families and loved ones. It also means that new labs that are taking creative approaches to taking on and fighting these diseases, their formation will be disrupted. Ultimately, more people will die preventable deaths. And we cannot let that happen. And that's why I'm so proud to be here today, fighting alongside a massive coalition of workers from across the University of California, using our collective power and lawsuits to fight back and defend our research and our work at the University of California.
There they go.
I'm proud to be here with all of these workers today, encouraging the leadership of the University of California to stand alongside us and defend our work, instead of capitulating to the Trump administration's demands that threaten student safety and academic freedom. Look, I know that authoritarian governments have always gone after institutions of higher education because we represent a genuine source of power in our country. And we are standing together today to use that power for good, to defend our life-saving research, and to build a research enterprise at the University of California that employs billions in well-paying jobs, that advances treatments for life-saving cures for diseases, and ensures that we can advance genuine innovations that will serve billions of people around the world. Thank you.
UCLA faculty and president of the Faculty Association at UCLA.
Good afternoon, and thanks all for coming out to celebrate what I think is a historic moment, although unfortunate that it had to happen, with a group of folks coming together. As we've heard from others, often these sorts of moments are moments that are designed to pull us apart, and instead I get to stand with an amazing coalition of folks that represent the beating heart of the UC. This group of nurses, librarians, projectionists, custodial staff, skilled technical workers, gosh, we do it all over here. Nurses, doctors, students, TAs, and even faculty. This group represents a group of folks who understand the foundational potential of the University of California to be the public good for this state. And they're fighting for it every day. And this is a fight. As we know, the federal government under President Trump has engaged in an egregious attack designed not just to hamper the University of California, but to attack the entire state, both educationally and economically. At UCLA, the federal government has taken hostage nearly $600 million in federal funding for research that, as we heard, saves lives. We just had a suspended science fair at UCLA, and I got to learn about amazing research on climate, traumatic brain injuries, eye transplants, optimization of MRI machines, cancer, AIDS, the list goes on and on. But these research cuts not only affect lives in the future, they affect lives right now. Every PI that I've spoken to will immediately bring up the many, many people that it takes to do excellent work, not just the person whose name is on the grant, and the concern that they feel about those jobs. They'll bring up the communities that they work with and the medical care that they will not be providing. They'll bring up the graduate students and undergraduate students and postdocs that will lose out on their training. A research funding cut on this scale is designed to harm California's present and California's future, to harm workers, students, and the citizens who rely on the UC, both for care now and for the life-saving technology of tomorrow. What we're doing today is asserting that these cuts are nothing short of federal extortion, and that acceding to these cuts is opening the door for federal overreach into our system. It is to lose what it is that the UC is. The UCLA Faculty Association is here today to represent our many PIs and members who understand that capitulation to these demands would be worse than the current devastation of these cuts. So we stand in solidarity with our union colleagues. We stand with trans students and all Californians who are receiving gender-affirming care. We stand for UC independence in hiring and admissions, for our amazing students who receive diversity scholarships, for free speech, for international students, and for the right of our immigrant students and co-workers to work without fear of harassment. We will not accept the UC becoming a place where the federal government gets to decide a student's gender identity. We will not accept becoming the UC where the federal government decides what opinions our students can take. And we won't accept federal politics and federal grandstanding resulting in lost UC jobs. We've been asked time and time again by the Regents, by our president, to stand up for the UC. Well, this is it. This is standing up for the UC. We're doing it today, and we're here to fight back. Thank you.
Next, we have faculty at UC Berkeley and co-president of the Council of UC Faculty Association.
Hi everyone. My name is Charmaine Chua. I'm acting associate professor of geography at UC Berkeley and unfortunately not the co-president of the Council of UC Faculty Associations, but I am the chair of campus organizing at the Council of Faculty Associations. And on behalf of the 10 faculty associations on every UC campus, Davis, Irvine, UCLA, Merced, Riverside, San Diego, San Francisco, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, and UC Berkeley, I'm here today to say, Trump, if you want to come for the UC, if you want to come for public higher education, you have to go through all of us. Let's be really clear. When Trump attacks the UC, he is attacking not just faculty and not just the federal funding that we receive, but he is also attacking California's third largest employer with spending and activities that support more than 500,000 jobs across California. He is attacking a center of cutting-edge innovation that produces an average of 5 inventions every day that powers California's high-tech sector, biotech breakthroughs, climate solutions, and medical advancements. Trump is attacking an economic engine that produces $21 in economic output for every $1 of investment in the UC. So I'm here today on behalf of 14,000 Senate faculty as CUCFA who have not been able to do this life-saving and groundbreaking work. We are in this, we are professors because we love research and teaching. We find pride and joy in making sense of the world and working with communities. We find pride and joy in building groundbreaking innovations that help underserved communities. I don't build groundbreaking innovations, but my colleagues in STEM do. We also want to be able to draw and to teach with the freedom to draw from established scholarly consensus. As a green card holder and an immigrant to the US, I am afraid to teach about the genocide in Palestine. And all of this is happening because Trump is preventing us from having the freedom.
We'll never be divided. Workers, united. We'll never be divided.